Hi FlossTube, it's Jen from Delicious Threads. Today is Friday, December 2nd, and I'm going to wrap up my November stuff. I can't believe it's already December. This year is flying by, and it needs to stop because I'm not ready for 2017 yet. I'm not ready. November was fun. So the last time I recorded, I talked about how there was going to be a Bay Area meetup and that Vana was visiting and Becky, the Obsessed Stitcher, and Olivia B were putting together a meetup at Needle and Haystack, which is the LNS near me. And it was a lot of fun. I did go. I was worried, or I wasn't worried, but I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to go, and then it worked out. I went. I didn't have to take the baby, so I had a little break too. We shopped, we chatted, very little stitching happened. We got lunch, we talked some more, and it was great. So I got to meet Vana, the Twisted Stitcher. I got to meet Becky, the Obsessed Stitcher. I got to meet Olivia B in person. We've swapped some messages before. I got to meet Rose Chin, and all of them have FlossTube channels. And then I also got to meet Michelle and Maddie, and they don't have their own FlossTube channels, but they do watch FlossTube, and they're on Instagram, so I get to connect with them that way too. And it was just a lot of fun, and I really hope that we get chances to do that more often. I don't have a lot of friends, or I don't have friends that stitch. I'm trying to convert my sisters to stitching, and so far it's working, but even with them, I don't hang out with them that often. So it's nice to have other people near you that have the same interests, and it would be fun to be able to meet up every now and then and kind of just hang out and talk stitching and life or whatever. So, two of the ladies brought gifts, like, so sweet. So Becky, the Obsessed Stitcher, she brought frogs. So this is my little froggy Franklin, and he is my little stitching buddy, my stitching mascot, and he sits over on my table over here, unless my kids steal him, because they do like him. And the one time I tried stitching without him by my side, I had a whole lot of other frogging to do. So Franklin is my buddy. Thank you again, Becky. And Michelle gave us all these really awesome candles that smelled like pumpkin pie, and I lit that, and it made my house smell wonderful while I was getting ready for Thanksgiving. So it made cleaning the house and getting everything prepped a lot nicer. And that's put away now. I almost burned all the way through it though. There's only like this much left in the bottom. So hopefully I can get a little use out of it next year too. Or maybe I should pull it back out and use it now. We'll see. So thank you, Michelle, if you're watching. Let's see. Thanksgiving was nice. My family came here. We host Thanksgiving, and my mom comes on Wednesday night and stays the night, and then she helps me start cooking in the morning. My sisters come, and sometimes my sister that's down south will come, and this year she didn't. But my other 3 sisters were all here, and my parents, and it's a lot of fun, and it's laid back because we have a big family, but it's just family, so it's always nice to have them around. People stayed through the weekend though, and I didn't really get much stitching done. We did watch all of the new Gilmore Girls episodes though, and that was my other goal, so at least I finished one thing, right? Now, getting ready for Christmas. So I'm not sure how much stitching I'll get done this month. I'm hoping to finish up some gifts for Christmas that involve cross stitch, but I'm not going to worry too much about how much I get done this month because there are other things to look forward to, and I know that I'll probably have more time starting next month to do stitching, because like we still have holidays pretty much every month, but it's not something that you really have to get ready for like you do for Thanksgiving or Christmas. So I'm looking forward to the holidays maybe being over just because I'm excited for the holidays, but then also I feel like it'll calm down a little bit. So I didn't do a lot of stitching, but I did do some stitching, and I do have a mini finish. The last time you saw my Once Upon a Time sampler, I had part of Cinderella's carriage and the fairy godmother, and so I finished October. Was that the last time you saw it? I don't think so. I think I had more of that done. But I don't think I had, maybe I had finished it. Okay, I think I had finished October, but I hadn't done November. I don't know. Anyway, for November, I know I finished all of this border coming down here. I did this gray border line, and I finished October and I finished November. So this is where it stands now, and I'm going to have to pull it out to move it over. I probably should have already pulled it out to work on December. And I'm still trying to decide if I want to do those little sparkly magic things for October. I might wait until I finish the piece and see if it needs it, because I know there are other months that have a lot of sparkly things too. So we'll see. And then I'm also trying to decide what to do down here. So the bottom of the frame, it has a little spot here where you can put the year that you stitched it. And this was the stitch along from 2014, and I actually started it in 2014, and I got through like the first 4 or 5 months, but then I didn't pick it up again until this year. And I'm hoping I do finish it this year, but either way, I'm not sure what I should put at the bottom, because there's really only enough space to do, unless I make it smaller, to do 2016 or 2014 or whatever. So I have to decide if I want to do just 2016, because that's the year I finished it, if I want to do 14-16 to show that I worked on it over all that time, if I just want to do my initials, if I want to just leave it out and do like a flowery motif or something else. Yeah, so I'm not sure what I'll do there yet, but I'll have to figure that out. I'm not sure if I'll actually finish the last of this year. I'm hoping to. I think I'm going to make this my first priority, other than a couple of like little Christmas ornament type things that I'm going to be using for gifts. Because I would really like to finish it this year. I don't want to have it spill over to next year. So I can't remember what December is. Hansel and Gretel, maybe? I think so. So that's going to be first up. I worked a little bit on my National Parks birthday club. And if you remember, this one's going to be for my parent, or it's not for me, it's for my mom. She wants to be a forest ranger. I really was hoping to be able to do more on this year and finish it, since 2016 is the 100th anniversary of the formation of the Park Service. And it already would have 2016 on there. So I just don't think it's going to happen. Last time you saw it, I had this land done, I had the gray down here, and I had a little bit of the yellow. So I did some more yellow, I did this gray, I finished the wall, and I put in the bison. So if I finish my Once Upon a Time sampler, I'll pull this out again too. But yeah, I know it's not going to happen this year. I changed out some of my minders. I was feeling in the fall spirit, so I have my little scarecrow, and then donuts are always fun. So this is one of my little flat acrylics, and this is one of my favorite new ones. The last WIP that I worked on was Giant Harry Potter, and this is where I am right now. I did not get nearly as much done as I was hoping. I was hoping that for October I could do the first 2 house banners, and then there's like a flying key up here next to the HP that I was hoping to do. Yeah, that didn't happen. That's okay though. I'm planning to stitch this all through next year, and I also, I don't think I'm gonna be where I wanted to be at the end of December either, but it's okay because I have a lot of time to work on it, so I'll try to catch up when I have more stitching time. And I'm using the gold Petite Treasure braid in there. I'm going to use a little bit of the Petite Treasure braid in each of the banners. So I like how this one's coming along. I just need to find more time. I have a new start. If I can find it. Oh, there it is. This one has been my car project, so I keep the little baggie with all the stuff in it in my purse, and then I have it with me when I'm sitting in the car waiting for pickup when I'm picking up my son from school, or I have it with me when we go to martial arts and I'm waiting during my son's class, or when I take my daughter to her swimming class. And so I've gotten quite a bit done on it for just having little bits of time to stitch. I'm kind of surprised. I think I might need to keep like a little, maybe even just ornaments, little projects in my purse so that I have them all the time. And I showed this one to you before when I first got it. It's the Dimensions Kit Train Ornament. And I'm stitching this for my sister and her family. Her husband really likes model trains, and their son likes trains now because They're obsessed with trains. So I thought this would be a cute one to stitch for them. And I need something to hold behind it. This is where I'm at so far. And this is the back of the train. That's going to be a little present. So it's actually going faster than I thought it would. I've seen a few other people stitching this one recently too, and it looks really cute. So hopefully I can finish that before Christmas, or else, I don't know. So that's it for what I've worked on this month, and as always my plans are just to try to do more. I am working on other things, and those things might actually take up some of my stitching time. I have some incomplete grime guards, so I have fabric cut and I just haven't finished sewing them together. I think that, especially for projects like my Harry Potter, where I have a bunch of extra fabric that I have to tame and kind of wrangle, having a grime guard on this one will be really helpful to hold that in. And then I'm also working on it for such a long time that it would be good to protect it from like hand oils and stuff. And I wash my hands, but there are always oils on your skin. So I have one that I cut to fit this size Q-snap, and then I also have another grime guard that I cut to fit an 11 by 11. This is my most common size that I use, and I have I think like 4 or 5 of these. And so I only cut stuff to make one because I wanted to see how it fits, because I know some people like to have wider fabric strips and then others don't. So I'm going to see how that first one goes, and then I'll probably end up making more. So that's one of my other projects. I also need to make my daughter a stocking. So I've sewn stockings for everyone in my family, including my sisters, their husbands, my parents, my grandmother. I have one for our pets, and then of course my family. And so I've sewn them, and then for the name part of the top, I do that with hand embroidery. So my daughter needs one because this is going to be her first Christmas. So I have to make sure that gets done before Christmas, and I really need to get on that because I'd like to have all of our stockings hung by the fireplace together. So I need to pull those out, and I need to pull out all of my Christmas fabrics and find a fabric design that looks nice with everyone else's. I think we kind of have like a tree and kind of polka dot theme. That doesn't really make sense. Maybe next time I record, I'll have her stocking done, and then I can show you a picture of what they all look like, and you know what I mean. On top of that, I had a sale in my needle minder group, and it was awesome, and I really appreciate all of the support that the people that like my needle minders have given me, and you have kept me really busy the last couple nights. I've been doing pretty much nothing but needle minder making after the kids go to bed, and it's probably going to take me a few more days to get caught up on all the orders, but I love making needle minders. I love sharing them with other people, so I'm also getting enjoyment out of that, even though I'm not doing stitching. So thank you again to everyone in the group and to everyone that placed orders with me. I really, really appreciate it. Oh, if you haven't joined my group, you might want to. I think in January I might do like an early sort of spring cleaning type sale, maybe a winter clearing sale. I have a lot of designs and I'm running out of space to store them, and I'm trying to change how I'm doing my storage right now. So I think I might go through everything, maybe do new photos of some of the stuff, reorganize albums, and then I might have some items that I just put on clearance so that I can clear out some space. So look for that in the new year. I don't know if I'm going to succeed at Stitch from Stash 2017. If it had already started, I not only would have failed, I would have like super failed. I don't know what happened, because I mean, I get stuff and I'm not really worried about it, but I've gotten a lot of stuff this month, and I was kind of surprised when I was making my like list to make sure that I thought of all the things to share with you. I was surprised at how much stuff there was. And for some of the things, there's a specific purpose, and it's going to make stitching and organizing and things easier. And then for some of the other things, they're just like more patterns that I probably don't need yet, but just want. And I don't need to justify it. I'm a big girl. I wanted stuff. But yeah, I imagine that Stitch from Stash might not work out for me, but we'll see. I'm really hoping it'll push me to finish more things before buying more stuff, because I know I do have enough, but I don't know, I want what I want. So first, I bought myself a label maker. It's not here yet, but it's coming. And I think I'm going to use it to label my bobbins. I'm still working on bobbinating my whole set of flosses. I actually have, I think, over 800 skeins of DMC, and most of those are like kitted up. I don't have a master set, and I don't pull from a master set for my projects. I started with just some floss, and then I went to kitting up projects, and then I had all of the flosses for those projects, and then now I have just like, I have doubles of a lot of stuff because I like bought them for just different projects, and then after those projects are done, they just kind of all go together. And so I need to get it all organized, and then if I find, I mean, I have every DMC color, so I could just have a master set. I'm working more toward maybe going that route and having a master set that I can pull from instead of pulling like what I can find and then buying more stuff. So we'll see. But I'm hoping the label maker will help with that. Plus, I'm hoping it'll help me get all of my craft stuff organized, because that's a big undertaking. And it's definitely going to help me organize all of my needle minder stuff. We'll see. So that hasn't come yet. It's supposed to come tomorrow. So I'm excited to get started on this organizing journey. We'll see how it goes. I also got the Stitchy Box Christmas Advent box, and I've already opened day 1 and day 2. I've posted pictures of those on my Instagram, so I'm not going to show them again here. Plus, I'm sure other people are going to be showing you things. But that is something that I have. I paid for that a long time ago, though. But I just got it recently. What else? So much stuff. So when I was at Needle in a Haystack, I was good. I didn't get a lot of stuff, but I did get a couple of things. I got some more gold and silver Petite Treasure braid, because I'm a little worried I might run out of the gold because I'm using it a lot on my Giant Harry Potter. And then these two colors I think are just really good to have, especially with stitching a lot of Christmas ornaments or just wanting like little touches of metallics here and there. I wanted to make sure that I had enough to do all the things that I want to do. And then these colors just popped out at me, and they are PB12, the purple, PB06, and PB17. And these stuck out at me, and I'm thinking I might use them for a Little Mermaid piece that I'm going to stitch for one of my sisters. And these are all the colors that you would have in like her tail and in her like bra that she wears. I might need to get some red though. Maybe she doesn't need sparkly hair. I don't know. So I just liked these ones. Also, I got the Lakeside Needlecraft Under the Sea Sal pattern, and I also bought the fabric, the one that looks like water, and I haven't gotten that yet, but I'll show you when I get it. And I noticed that one of the colors in the floss list is a metallic, I think, and it's similar to this, so I'll have to look and see if either this will work for that color or if there's a different Petite Treasure braid that'll work better, because I like Petite Treasure braid a lot better than working with Krynic or the DMC Metallics. I'm kind of in love with it. So I think I'm just always going to see if I can use Petite Treasure braid for some sparkly bits. At Halloween time, I saw a lot of people stitching Candy Corn of Mischief. And this one is from Bennett Creek, and it only comes as a kit. And maybe people are selling just the pattern now. But they had this one at Needle in a Haystack, so I grabbed it so that I could have it. And it comes with the linen and the threads. But the threads are like chunky, and the fabric is also, it has like a pretty open weave. So see, that's the fabric. And then the threads are like the chunkier threads. And I'm not sure if I like that chunky look, so I might stitch this on my own fabric with DMC or maybe some variegated or overdyed flosses. And then if I do that, I might after I stitch mine, I might go ahead and either give this away or put it on Stash Unload. And the last thing I got is Prairie Moon, We'd Turn Back If You Was Us. And this one, I know other people were trying to find it and they were having a hard time, and the people that are selling it online are selling it for crazy prices. They had a couple of copies at Needle in a Haystack, and I got the last one. I think at least one other person in our group got one of these too. And so we got it for like the regular price. It was only 15 bucks. So I don't know, maybe as a note to the other people that are having a hard time finding some of these out of print or rare pieces, I bet if you reached out to the groups or to other stitchy people that you have kind of made connections with in the groups or through FlossTube, you might be able to just put word out and say, hey, I'm really looking for this. Would you mind checking your LNS for me? Because people are trying to sell it for 3 times this much. And then maybe somebody would help you out. Like if I had known, I had gone, they had, like I said, at least one other copy of this. I would totally be willing to help somebody out and get them a pattern so they don't have to pay $45 or whatever other people are trying to sell it for. So I'm excited to have that one, and I know that people are looking for it, so after I stitch it, I would be willing to pass it along to someone else. Not sure when I'll get to it though. So talking about bobbinating, I was doing all of my stuff by hand, and I knew that I wanted to do the power drill trick. And I know that Jessie Marie does this part too, or does this too. And I was having a hard time because I couldn't find my DMC hand crank bobbin winder. So this is the one that you just clip onto the side of the box and you do it yourself. So I was just doing them all by hand, and I couldn't find this, and that's what I needed to do this. So I was at Hobby Lobby for something, and I got their version of this, and it was really crappy and didn't work. And basically the bobbin would just wiggle too much in the little holder, and I couldn't get a good wind on the bobbin. Like the thread was just going everywhere because it was flopping everywhere. So I knew I needed to try to get a DMC one that would work better. And so I kept putting it off, and then I was just tired of hand winding bobbins. So I finally got like a 6-pack of them on Amazon, because it was pay a little bit more for a 6-pack or pay a lot for one. So I got the 6-pack, and I figure I'll put one for each of my sisters in their little stitchy getting started kit that I'm going to put together for them for Christmas. And then I knew that I was going to have to bust one apart to do this, and then that gives me a couple extras so that if I lose pieces or if I want to hand crank for some reason, I can. And so I've done a couple of bobbins on this in the last couple days, and I love it. And hopefully I can get the rest of my stuff bobbinated soon. So that's something I got. Let's see. Also on Amazon, and then I ordered some of these from Hirschner's too. I got these stretcher bars, and I saw Vonna stitching on a little set. Hers is a little bigger than this. Stitching an ornament when we met up at Needle in a Haystack. And what you do is the fabric that you're stitching on goes across the front, and then you have these little tacks like this, these little flat tacks, and you tack the fabric down all the way around, and it holds your fabric really tight, so it's stretched out, and you can do your stitching. And then there's a little extractor. So this is called a pusher, and it's magnetic on the bottom so that it will stay attached to the tack so you can get it in the right spot, and then you push down using that so you can get enough force to push it into the wood. And this is actually really soft, lightweight wood, so shouldn't be too hard. And then they have this extractor, and it's kind of curved, and you can scoop underneath the tack and then pull it out. And so you can take them out, and this can be reused a bunch of times. And yeah, she was stitching on it, and I asked her about it, but she has a blog post on her blog talking about this with like a little tutorial for how she uses it and like little tips and things. So I'll link that down below if you want to check it out. But yeah, I decided I wanted to try it. One nice thing about this is that you don't have to have a bunch of extra fabric to like wrap around a Q-snap. It works well for something that's smaller than a Q-snap. So this is 5 by 5. So I think it's going to be a good size for some of the ornaments that I want to stitch up. And it keeps it nice and flat. So, I mean, you can stitch in hand, but it's like wrinkly, and maybe it's not if you're stitching something really small, but this will keep it like nice and straight, and you keep that tension. And if you're not used to stitching in hand, which I can do both, but I've been liking using Q-snaps and stuff more recently, it'll help you stretch it out. And then, yeah, so I got these, the 5 by 5s on Amazon. They also have a set that has like multiple lengths all in one pack. That actually comes from Hirschner's, and you can also buy it through Hirschner's for the same price. So I did the Hirschner's one because I wanted to get something else from Hirschner's too, and it's the same shipping price either way. So I was able to combine shipping on their site instead of getting that on Amazon and then still needing to buy my other item. I'll show you the other pieces when they come in. And I'm planning to use this in the next couple weeks, and then I can let you know if I liked it or not. So this was the other thing I got. You can get the pin or the tacks separately, but I got this little kit so that I would have the little pusher and the extractor, and it has the little tacks in a little jar, so I'll keep them all organized. Let's see. Oh, I actually had these before my last video and I forgot to show them. So I placed an order with No Name Needle Minders with Kate, the Queen of Starts, and she has, I think on Fridays, I don't know if it's every Friday, she'll put up like dollar sheets where you can get any of the designs for $1, and it's just for that day only. So she put up the bees, so I got Queen Bee and Busy Bee. I feel like a very busy bee right now, so I might pull that one out and start using it. And then she also included this little hand as a freebie. Thanks, Kate. I placed an order with 123 Stitch, and I got some perforated paper in the antique brown. Oh, hey, there's me. Because I knew I was going to be making some ornaments. And speaking of ornaments, I got some of these really cute wooden sled ornament blanks. So this is a wood that's painted brown, and then it's attached to the metal sled frame, and then it hangs like this. So you would stitch your ornament. I guess you could do it on fabric, but most people, like the patterns, have it on the perforated paper, and then you cut it out and you put it on here. And I know Lizzie Kate has some patterns that are this size, and so does, I think it's Foxwood Crossing. And so these should be some quick, really cute ornaments to stitch up. Right now, too, in Cross Stitch It's Fun, the weekly challenge is to stitch ornaments, and they're like starting and finishing ornaments, and you get, if you're doing the Stitch What's houses, you get points for your finishes, and then you get bonus points for an FFO. So I'm hoping to get a few of those ornaments FFO'd before the end of Saturday. I don't know what's going to happen. I have a lot of needle minders to make. But I'm excited about the sleds because they're super cute. I also, from 123 Stitch, got some patterns, and these are Halloween-y patterns, so I'm probably going to wait to stitch them up a little bit. I mean, I can stitch them throughout the year. But I saw these at Needle in a Haystack, and I talked myself out of buying them, but then I kept thinking about them, and so I went on 123 Stitch after, and they had them. And they are Boo Buttons, and there are 5 of these. I only bought 3, but there are 5. And so this is, they're all cats dressed up in costumes. And so my daughter's obsessed with cats, and my son and daughter both, well, I guess they both like cats, but they both also really like Halloween and dressing up, so I thought these would be cute. So we have Pirate of the Catabean and Katarina Kitty. And then on number 2, Catkin America, which my son will die over. He loves Captain America, and Catarella. And then in number 3, Harry Catter and Kit White. So I can't remember what was on number 4 and number 5, but they were characters that I didn't think that I would stitch up probably, and I like those ones better than 4 and 5, so I made sure I got those ones. I was at Joann's and I just wanted to try something new, so I got my first Cross Stitcher magazine. There are a couple of designs in here that I would like to stitch up. I don't want to open it, but one of them is the craft room sign, Do Not Disturb, Stitcher at Work. Really like that one. And there are a couple Halloween ones in here too that I would like to stitch up. And then, let's see, I made a list because I knew I'd forget stuff. I've gotten socks too. I placed an order with Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. I've never ordered from her before. It's already been a little over a week. I know her website says that it might take 4 weeks to stitch, so I'm not expecting to see that until maybe next year. But I got a slate fabric. It's like a really dark, grayish, almost black fabric, and I'm planning to use that for my hands-on designs, the monthly ones. Why am I blanking on the name? The ones that look like chalkboard. Anyway, those. So I got a yard of that to use for those projects. I want to stitch those throughout next year. And then I also got a fabric of the month order from Crafty Kitten, and I just got a message that that shipped today, so I'm hoping to see that soon-ish. And I placed an order on Etsy for, I know you guys are all, like, really into cross stitch, but I do other things too. So I'm also into embroidery, and from Snuggly Monkey I got some sashiko kits. So Olympus makes the sashiko threads, and so they have some kits. This one is just a traditional sampler, so they have a bunch of different traditional sashiko designs, and that one's on the traditional kind of navy blue. And I got a multicolored thread pack to possibly use with that one. I know white is kind of the traditional. I got 2 other kits. It's hard to see what they are, but they're also traditional designs. So this one's kind of like the orange peel type design. And then this one is really covered up and hard to see. I haven't opened it. I don't know, you probably can't see it, but here's the other little design. So, I don't know when I'll get a chance to start those and try it out, but I've always been interested in this style of embroidery and style of stitching, and so I'm excited to have a kit, and they have instructions and everything, and the kits have the printed lines that you can follow, and then they wash out afterwards. So I think that's what I need to kind of get used to the rhythm and how you would make those stitches. So I think that's going to be fun. I also bought a bunch of patterns. So everyone had sales. I shouldn't talk, I had sales too. But I got some patterns from Satsuma Street, and I'm just going, they're all digital, so I'm gonna insert pictures. But I got 12 Days of Christmas, and I'm planning to stitch that or start those pieces. I'm gonna do it all as one, I think. I'm not sure, because you could do them as ornaments or all as one, and that's in both types of, or both setups are included in pattern file. I think I'm going to do it as one, but you could do it separately. But I think I'm going to do those for the Stitch Mania 12 Days of Christmas out. I also got the Crafter's Manifesto, and Nothing is Impossible. From Stitchrovia, I got Love You to the Moon and Back, Dream Big Little One, Awesome, Wonderful World, and The Bright Alphabet. And I'll put those here. So just a few more patterns, not too much, not too crazy, right? I don't know. So, gosh, I say so a lot. I'm sorry if that bothers any of you. It's really funny watching yourself or thinking about what you're saying as you're saying it and realizing that there is like a verbal tick or something that you say a lot, and I've had to go back to see things in some of my videos before. I don't really like watch them again, but I've had to go back and look at some stuff to either figure out where I was the last time I recorded or to see if I remembered to include something. And I noticed that I say so a lot, and I'm trying to not do it. Every time I say it and I hear myself, I'm like, ah, I said it again. So, I'm trying to not do that one. I know it's probably fine to do it sometimes and maybe it doesn't bother anybody else, but I'm trying not to. I don't know. That's it, I think. This is going to be a really busy month. We have Christmas coming up. I have stuff that I need to do that's non-Stitchy related to lead up to Christmas, other projects I need to work on, and we are going to have family here at the end of the month. So I'm going to try to get as much done as I can, but I'm just going to relax this month and know that I might not get as much done as I would like. But next year is a new year, and I'm hoping I'll have more time. I mean, I say that every time. I hope I'll have more time. But I don't know. You don't have all the family commitments and the other things. And I would much rather spend time with my family if I get the chance to than sit by myself and stitch. So that's just the way it is. Anyway, I will be back mid-month, and hopefully I'll have a lot to show you. And until then, happy stitching.